Would I be the asshole if I, 25 male, told my girlfriend, 22 female, to help my family in the kitchen because she is a woman? Hey guys, before you judge, hear me out. Background: I am an Arab with a conservative and religious family, my girlfriend is not. Now, like it is in conservative families, people judge real fast. I am the one with the white girl, and it's not like they hate her or don't want her to be with me, but there always are prejudices and stuff they say, like, she can't cook for you, she will leave you when you are 30, she won't be a good housewife, and so on. You know, the typical shit conservative people say. I think that's the same for every religion. Think of the Trumpy daughter who brings a black boyfriend home. I don't like that they do it, but that's how things are, unfortunately. However, these are just words. Now me, I am not religious at all and prefer the modern liberal lifestyle. I don't care about genders. Try my best to be free of prejudices and accept everything. I love cooking and make food for us every day. We both do the chores together and living a happy life. Tomorrow we are invited to a family event where I plan to bring her, as we are together for 2 years now and I want her to meet the outer family circle. So before we go, there are some things I want her to know before we go, e.g. no short skirts or tight leggings or clothes that show too much skin. And I want her to help in the kitchen, you know. Women must help in the kitchen. Obviously, I won't force her to do any of that, and it's against how we live normally. But it would make life easier for any of us, and the family would accept her and not see their prejudices confirmed. This would only be for a nice first impression, like you put your finest outfit when you meet her parents for the first time. My family is pretty chill, apart from that, so after they accept and get to know her, she can do whatever she likes. Like, you wouldn't judge your bro if he tells you about the shit he took, but if it's a guy you see for the first time, it would be very awkward. As I know my girlfriend, she would do that without second thoughts if I asked her. She does everything for me as I do for her. Still, I want her to feel good, and I feel guilty to tell her what she has to do or what she has to look like, but I also want her to be on good terms with the fam, as they are important to me. So would I be the asshole under these circumstances? Edit. Seeing the first comments, I have my answer, and this won't change anything. But guys, PLS read, I will not force her to do anything, she is free to do whatever she likes. I just mean to give her a heads up. I misinterpreted what told actually means. I am not a native speaker and I don't mean it in a demanding way, I just mean to say it, like maybe suggesting. To tell and to say is the same word in German. Still, most of you are correct, it's misogynistic, sexist, and nothing I would ever be proud of to live like. Last edit. Thanks a lot for all your comments. Some are very extreme and some are very understanding, but I decided to not be the asshole and not suggest anything. As I know her, she will make the best impression she can, as she always does, and they will love her, just like I do. There shouldn't be anything to worry about, and if there is, it's my problem, not hers. And of course I will be in the kitchen cooking and cleaning, I always do, and that's how I learned to cook actually. Besides, I promised my aunt to cook some lasagna for the children anyway, as they don't like the traditional Arab stuff. WIBTA. I would have a conversation with her and tell her your concerns, and what your family is like. From there, let her decide how she wants to handle it. I think you are the asshole if you tell her that she needs to. I think you could explain to her that it might look bad if she doesn't and that culturally they expect it, but you will back her up whatever she decides. That way she has all the info and can choose without feeling bombarded, but also she will know it isn't a demand. You are the asshole. Look, I understand what you're getting at, but the fact you're more willing to tell your girlfriend to stay in the kitchen, rather than tell your family, don't be sexist, just to keep the peace, is bull. There's a big difference between, I want you to give my family a good impression, and, I want you to endure sexist treatment and shut up no matter how humiliating it is. Warn her what they will expect, but if you're not willing to stand up for her, then you're not as accepting as you think. YTA. This is incredibly misogynistic. You are the asshole. You're enabling sexism and throwing your girlfriend under the bus because you don't want to grow a pair of balls and stand up to your family. If it's truly going to be such a big deal for your family, then don't go at all. You are the asshole and so is your family. You are the asshole. If you do this, you are setting a precedent. That you think it's okay to force your wife to act in a way that is different than who she is in order to make your life easier around your family. YWBTA if you told her to. You would not be the asshole if you just give her a heads up about what their expectations are and then let her make her own decisions about it. Am I the asshole for not helping out my siblings financially? I am the oldest, 21F, of my siblings, 19F, 18M. and am currently in my last year of college to become a diagnostic medical sonographer. I am doing okay for money because I have worked very hard to make sure I could make it through this program without needing student loans. In order to save for school, I worked 3 jobs 50–60 hours a week for a full year while taking prerequisite classes online as well as working 2 jobs through all of high school. I was also fortunate to find a part-time job that worked perfectly with my schedule for my first year and a half of college. Over the last 2–3 years my mom has been asking me to put some money aside to give to my siblings so they can pay tuition. Not pushy about it, but still bringing it up now and then. I have explained to her that even though I'm doing okay, I'm not in a position to be supporting anyone else, and once I'm working I could be more help. The program I am taking ends with a year of clinical 40 hours a week including through the summer for no pay with full price tuition, and exams on weekends. There is no way for me to have an income right now and I prepared for that. Lately my mom has been getting impatient with my telling her no. She believes it would be the most fair option for me to give my siblings money because I didn't have to take out a loan, so I should help them not go into debt as well. She asked me to give money from my most recent scholarship to my brother so he can pay his tuition for first semester. When I told her I desperately need to be able to afford new tires and tuition, she made a comment about how I have so much going for me but can't help put them ahead in life. Later that day she asked me to let my brother move in with me and my boyfriend while he goes to school. We rent a place together with a spare room we use as office space. My mom's place is nearly a 3-hour drive to the closest city, so moving is necessary for school. Because we are renting the place we would have to have permission from our landlord. My boyfriend and I agreed to consider it. When it came down to it, I didn't want my younger brother sleeping next door to me and my boyfriend for the next couple years. Since I've given her this answer she has been upset with me. I came home to visit on the weekend and she began saying that her and I can't get along because I'm so hard to reason with, too frugal and controlling, and when it comes down to it I want help my family. I will not apologize for my decision. I love my mom but I don't love what's happening. Am I the asshole? Edit. Thank you everyone for the responses. I've decided that I just won't be talking to my mom anymore about money, or responding to questions. I've also told her it's putting unnecessary stress on me to worry about my siblings. My little brother was completely understanding about me not wanting him to move in. He's applied for residence, which is a great way to make friends your first year anyway. From growing up with him, I knew he didn't pull his own weight in the house well, and I want to keep a good relationship with him now that we are older. My boyfriend and I will be inviting him over 1–2 times a week to have dinner with us and check up on him. Not the asshole if they don't want to go into debt over college. They should have worked as hard as you did. Congrats on your hard work paying off and don't let your mom get to you. I think you already know you're not the asshole but are looking for reassurance that you are doing the right thing for yourself and your family. I'm a mother who understands what your mother wants but also knows she should not get it because it will ultimately not only be bad for you but also for your siblings. Keep saying no and let her unfair emotional blackmail just slide off your shield of knowing you are not obligated to assuage her guilt for not doing better for her children, and hope she one day comes to appreciate what a treasure she has in you before she drives you completely out of her life. Good luck. Not the asshole. Your mom has a lot of nerve trying to put the onus on you. If it's anyone's job to help her other kids, it is your mom's. Also, wow. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Not the asshole. It's time for your siblings to put up or shut up. What's fair is for all of them to bust their asses working as hard as you did. Suppose they drop out or flunk out. Your mother wants you to solve her problems with a lazy son. Don't let her manipulate you. You earned everything you have. They need to do the same. Not the asshole. Please don't jeopardize your future. You're not your siblings' parents. They could follow your example and work hard to get where they are at. It's not fair for her to ask you to fund their education. That's supposed to be a parent's job. Not on you. If you have your sibling move in, he will most definitely mooch off you and be expecting you to pay for all he needs. Not the asshole. This is asinine. Not your kids, not your problem. You worked your ass off to go to college without loans. You are living proof that if you want it bad enough, it can be done. Your siblings need to talk to you about how to do it, and work their asses off, or take out loans, their choice. Not the asshole. They can work just as hard as you or take out loans. That's not on you. Not the asshole. Keep working hard for yourself and don't feel guilty about your siblings. Your mother is not being fair at all. Debt is part of life and we all have to deal with it one time or another. Am I the asshole for keeping some of my gift money? Ever since I was a kid I was never allowed to keep any of my gift money. Cash, prepaid gift cards, none of it. All of it was used to re-gift other people. I got to keep the thoughtful and physical gifts OFC. My parents aren't that demonic lol. Even my tooth fairy money miraculously disappeared. And then whenever they would gift me cash, they would miraculously not have any on them and ask me for money and then not pay me back. My family is pretty well off and so we really don't need to do it, and I understand being frugal, but it gets kind of excessive when you got around $900 in total from your grad party, and all of it is instantly taken from you. I'm 18 and about to turn 19 in a month and my friend who I haven't seen in a while gave me a late graduation gift. They gave me a really thoughtful gift as I'm about to head off to college but also a $25 gift card. I knew my parents would never let me keep it so I hid it. I mean it is a gift for me, not my parents. I ended up using it yesterday and somehow my parents found out. I found out that my mom has access to my email on her phone. She asked me how I got the money and I told her from the graduation gift. And she called me a liar, a thief and a cheat. She's crying in the other room as I type this. They went ballistic and threatened not to help with paying for college, and not letting me get a bank account. I feel bad, but I don't think they have the authority to commandeer the gifts that I get and should have the right to monitor every step that I take, every waking moment I have. Edit. I did not get a joint account, woohoo. Thank you guys so much for your kind words, advice, and affirmation. Sorry for not responding for a while. I went to get a bank account right after I saw multiple people telling me that I could just do it myself and used a promotional offer that gives me $100 for only new Chase customers to make sure I wouldn't get a joint account. My parents didn't let me use my grandma's check just yet, so I used a check that I got for winning a business competition, which was enough. I'm moving away to college in the next few weeks, so I'll have a little more freedom. I'll just play it by ear for the tuition. Although this isn't the only thing that sucks about them, I still love them and care deeply about them. They do love me, but struggle to properly manifest their love because they didn't have great relationships with their parents either. So I won't go completely NC. Not to mention they're helping paying my tuition and letting me live in a house we own rent-free lol. Like I said previously, these experiences are just helping me create a blueprint for how my children's lives are supposed to be. Edit 2. BTW. The business competition I won was in personal finance lol. It just didn't occur to me that I could go to the bank by myself. I was thinking about a custodial account that my parents had for me that I wanted access to. Edit 3. Alrighty, everyone was telling me that I needed to get a new email address. I was skeptical about getting a new email address because everything that I have is linked to it. My Twitch, YouTube, and Robinhood, etc. But I just made one. Step 2 towards independence. Not the asshole. Holy cow, what the fuck is wrong with your parents? They're seriously threatening to not pay for college because of a $25 gift card? And you don't need them to open a bank account. You're 18 and can open one on your own, at least in the US. Your parents have been stealing your money and you need to move out and make sure they have no access to any of your accounts. Not the asshole. You're right. They don't have the authority to commandeer and steal your gifts that other people gave you. If I were someone who'd gifted you cash and found out your parents had simply taken it, I would be livid at them and they would absolutely hear about how incredibly inappropriate and fucked up that is. Your parents are financially abusing you, and all I can recommend is to get far away from them as soon as you can. I'm so sorry you've had to grow up like this. Not the asshole. Your parents are controlling and financially abusive. You are adult now. Get away. Not the asshole. Do they have a bank account set up for you? Where have all the monetary gifts gone over the years? Is that your college fund? Going ballistic over $25 is irrational on their part, and they've essentially been stealing your money unless it is in an account for you somewhere. You're not the asshole, your parents are batshit. Sorry dude. Major red flags from this situation. Not the asshole, hope you manage to convince them or leave for a better situation soon. Not the asshole. Do you live in a part of the world where, at 18, you need your parents' permission to open a bank account? If you are in North America, where I am, so I'm kind of familiar with the way things work, make sure you have your legal documents, birth certificate, SSN, SIN card. Contact the major credit agencies like Equifax and put a freeze on opening any kind of credit. If you're not in North America, find out how to do this in your country. Your parents are disrespectful of your finances. It's not unheard of for these types to open lines of credits in their children's names. If that happens, you're screwed. NTA. Your parents are thieves. Your mom is insane and I really think you need to think of other ways to pay for college, because I would not trust them to pay. Would I be the asshole if I reported my neighbor's new AC unit to the town code enforcement office? My neighbor recently installed a central AC unit directly outside my kitchen window, at a distance of 10 feet. I was pretty pissed when it first went in. They have no neighbor on the other side, so putting it right outside my window seemed rude. I like to keep my windows open whenever it's not too hot, so the thing kicking on, even when it was in the 60s out, WTF, was pretty irksome. I reasoned that it was probably closer to the electric box or something on my side, and would have been more expensive to put on the other side. Town code requires it to be 5 feet from the property line. It is 4 feet from it, and screened with fencing or vegetation to reduce noise and unsightliness to neighbors. It has no fence. It should have had a building permit, but clearly didn't since it would not have been allowed to go there. I swallowed my irritation to avoid being that neighbor, but did ask if they were going to extend the fence. Cue shocked Pikachu face. They expressed irritation with the installer, who should have known the permitting, and we discussed fencing. They were willing to do a privacy fence around it, and maybe other noise reduction if that didn't help. I agreed, and then suggested that if they were going after the installer to fix it, they should have them move it to the other side since it would not cost them presumably. This is the wife's response, via text. We don't want to move it to the driveway, we paid extra to move to the right side of the house. It looks best there. We are going to do the plan we've already discussed this morning. Although we plan to move in a couple of years, we are still very proud of our home and strive to make it look the best possible. It would be a true eyesore on the other side of the house. It would also impede use of our driveway. Their driveway extends all the way to the end of the house, so the AC would have to sit on it, although they already have a planter blocking it and do not use it beyond the house anyway. I replied, "Wow, you paid extra significant other WE could have to look at it? And listen to it? I have no words." Her. Again. If you have a problem with your neighbors, maybe you shouldn't live so close to other homes. There are multiple things that I don't like about your home. But I do not bother you because I respect you. Me. If this is your attitude, I guess I don't feel at all jerky for going to the town after all. Sheesh. Her. Okay, I'll meet you there. Your home has at least 4 code violations. I've already looked it up. My father is also a lawyer. So, send me the time and date, by the way. You are the one escalating and berating is. We are more than willing to work with you. She then lists code violations regarding our shed and such too close to property lines, not hers, and continues with, "Look, I don't care what you do to your property. But if you want to make a case out of it, you can." I can't really think straight. Help me out, Reddit. Who is being unreasonable here? They chose to put it where it was convenient for them. Everyone does this. You place things where you want them when possible. Installer sucks because he didn't follow code. You suck for deciding that the solution you agreed to wasn't good enough and threatening legal action after a compromise was already made. They suck for responding to your threats with their own. You suck again for only caring about code violations that affect you and ignoring your own. And they suck again for continuing to escalate the situation. Either accept the original resolution or fix your shit so you aren't being a hypocrite. You are the asshole. They are a foot over code, which means most cities will give them a pass, or they may just install a different shaped AC unit. They offered to do a fence and noise reduction. You wanted to go nuclear as soon as it was not where you wanted, on property that is not your own. Get a fence and enjoy being that neighbor. You are the asshole. I swallowed my irritation to avoid being that neighbor. Swallow harder. Or buy some damn earplugs already. If you're going to open your windows onto the world, you don't get to complain that the world is noisy. Or that it doesn't revolve around you and your preferences. I swallowed my irritation to avoid being that neighbor. That didn't last long. Your neighbors for not following building codes and you for becoming that neighbor. You are the asshole, it's not that big of a deal. And you can't be mad at them when you did the same thing with your shed. They came to a compromise and you still threatened legal action. You are the asshole. You are the asshole, everyone sucks here but you more so. You are the asshole, get over yourself. That is part of having neighbors. Pettiness is not the solution.